Hi, welcome to International Recaps. The film begins with a man named Sapala, and the era of 1900 is shown. It was normal to travel on sleds in that era. Sled rides were used to shift things from one place to another. For this, special dogs were used. Sapala was also a sled rider, and had a nice breed of dogs. They make their travel and tasks easy. One day, a puppy was born, and it was a puppy of a Siberian Husky. These dogs are used to being weak, and Sapala thinks it is useless, as he can't take this dog on a sled ride with other dogs. He wants to give this dog to someone else, but his wife doesn't want it. She keeps all the dogs like her kids. She named it Togo and says, "I love it like my kids. They are near my heart, and I don't want to make them separate from me. We should give Togo a chance, and it is younger now. Don't jump to any conclusions about it." Sapala doesn't want this, but even then, he agrees with his wife. Togo was becoming older as time passed, and it was naughty. Sapala was annoyed by it. His wife always asks him to take Togo on a sled ride. He says to his wife that it is weak now, and it can't survive on a sled ride. Sapala gives Togo to his friend, but his wife knows no one will keep him because he is naughty. The next day, the same thing happens. His friend brings Togo back. He claims, "Your dog is naughty, and I am unable to keep it." His wife smiles at this because he was naughty, and whenever Sapala takes his dogs on a ride, Togo goes behind him. Even if it is tied to the fence, it will escape by digging. It runs after Sapala, and it enjoys other dogs arriving there. As a result, Sapala is unable to train his dogs. One day it fell into the water, and Sapala was fed up with its axe. He locks Togo in a room, but it somehow moves out from there. One day Sapala convinces his female friend to keep Togo, but she was strict and said Togo had to stay in the room. Sapala has no problem dropping Togo there. After a short time, Togo breaks the mirror of the window and comes out, reaching Sapala. He becomes worried upon seeing it, and notices its hands are also injured, and they were bleeding, so he makes Togo sit on the sled for taking it home. Togo doesn't want to sit on it and wants to run with the other dogs. After trying hard, when Togo wouldn't sit on the sled, Sapala ties it with the other dogs. After moving a distance, he notices Togo is energetic and runs faster than other dogs, so he ties it up in front. Togo takes them home soon with its speed, and Sapala becomes happy and shocked to see Togo, and tells his wife how speedily Togo ran. He even tells his wife he is a lead dog, and she is becoming happy to see Togo. His wife is also happy to see him. Later, Sapala wins many sled races with the help of Togo. They become famous gradually. The time passes like this, and now 12 years have passed. Togo is shown older, and one day he returns to its city, and discovers that a disease known as diphtheria has been spreading throughout the city, and it was affecting the kids. The kids were losing their lives to this disease, and everyone was worried. The mayor calls a meeting. Sapala goes there, and he tells them there is an antidote to this disease. It is 600 kilometers from Nevada, but it is dangerous to go there as a huge storm is arriving. The mayor asks Sapala about the weather, and he tells me that when I was returning the dogs, they were panicked to see the weather. After several years, Togo was also beginning to feel worried. If he is, then we should be worried. Later, he leaves, and when he comes out, a doctor asks for the lift. Sapala drops him off at the hospital on his sled. Sapala sees a lot of sick kids in the hospital. If they do not deliver the medicine, their lives will be in danger. Sapala gets lost in his thoughts, and when he comes home, he tells his wife that he will bring medicine. He says, "I will take Togo with me," but his wife says he is now 12 years old, and you said he is not strong. The weather is also not good, and I don't want you to be a reason for his death. Then you devote your entire life to the fact that Togo died as a result of your actions. Sapala refuses to travel without him, so he departs with Togo, saying goodbye to his wife. The storm was pushing forward as Sapala moved with his dogs. The wind was so hard that Sapala couldn't see anything. Togo was in the lead, and Sapala was directing his dogs ahead. They have to return soon with medicine from Nevada, and he was on a deep slide with his dogs, and Togo stops there. Sapala couldn't understand anything and found a huge ditch. Even in the midst of the storm, Togo noticed this awful ditch. As a result, Sapala and his dogs are saved. Meanwhile, Sapala sees that Togo's foot is injured, and it was bleeding as well. After traveling the whole day, Sapala and his dogs reach an outpost. There is a lady doctor at that outpost who told Sapala that Togo is now 12 years old, and now he has become weak. This long journey isn't good for Togo, but even then Sapala and his leading dog Togo will move forward. The condition of the kids was getting worse in the hospital, and Sapala was moving forward with his dogs. He was taking shortcuts to reach his destination. He notices a terrifying frozen lake, and the storm was also moving towards them from the other side. Sapala doesn't get scared and asks his dogs to move forward. The dogs were moving forward and somehow crossed the lake. After traveling the whole day, they reach a checkpoint and take a rest there. Sapala's wife goes to the mayor and tells him the medication has been sent from Nevada, and Sapala will get them on their way. He is moving forward through shortcuts, and his travel will be longer if he does not get those medications. Sapala is shown reaching a checkpoint after traveling for a whole day. Togo's condition was worse, but even then it wanted to move forward and lead. Sapala was moving through his shortcut, and if he will not find the man bringing medicine from Nevada, so his travel will become difficult for him. Sapala gets tired. His eyes were closed due to lack of sleep, but his dogs were moving forward like electricity, and the man shown came from Nevada. He has medicine. Sapala was moving forward with his dogs. The man calls him, but Sapala is lost, and the hard wind is also blowing as well. Due to it, Sapala couldn't hear that man's voice, but Togo has heard something. The man thought Sapala had not heard him. Then he moved forward. Then the man sees that Sapala is returning, because Togo stopped there and Sapala got medicine. Then they stop at a checkpoint, and his friend asks him to leave Togo here. I have lost many dogs in those terrible storms. I don't want you to lose your lovely dog, Togo. But he refuses and says Togo is my lead dog and I can't travel without him. Sapala again starts traveling with his dogs. The lake appears in front of them, which he crossed with his dogs yesterday. There is a stronger current in the lake than yesterday, but if they skip over it, their journey will be extended by one more day. Sapala decides to proceed in this way, and orders his dog Togo to move forward, and his dogs are now crossing the lake quickly. The water was now flowing out of the lake, and they would die if they drowned in it. Because of the speed of Togo and other dogs, they somehow reach the shore. The piece they move forward moves away from the shore and detaches. Sapala throws Togo to the shore and asks it to pull that ice piece. Togo was injured, but even then he applied his force. He takes them to the shore, and now they come out of the frozen lake. They were trapped, and Sapala miraculously saves his dogs and transports them to a checkpoint. The lady doctor was also there, and seeing Togo, her eyes filled with tears. She says, Sapala, your dog is dying, and its condition is getting worse. She makes Sapala upset. He loves Togo. Then, after spending a night there, when he starts his journey, he ties Togo behind him. He was sick and couldn't travel. Even then, Togo stands at its position, and Sapala understands Togo doesn't want to take a rest. He wants to stand in his place and end his journey. It ties Togo in front, and they start their journey. After a few hours, the storm becomes so terrible that Sapala can't see anything. He couldn't see the way and went to Togo and said he couldn't see further. Now you have to show us the way and take us to the next post. Sapala covers his face, and Togo takes them forward. Moving at a distance, Togo sits there being tired. Sapala goes there and says you have to stand up, and we have to take that medicine. We will be stopped here if we do not move forward to our destination. Togo wasn't responding to him. Then a man comes to him with a lantern, which means Togo has done its job here. He has conveyed Sapala to the checkpoint, and he is happy to see this. Everyone was saved because of Togo. Now they go inside. Togo's condition isn't good. There is also a man that Sapala's wife had sent to take that medicine when Sapala reaches the outpost. So he will return soon to the place where kids are sick. They take a rest at night. The man left in the morning with the medicine. After a short time, he reaches the city, where a reporter is waiting for him. As this news has spread in New York, a man has gone on a long journey to bring medicine. The reporter thought maybe the man had returned with his team. Now the reporter prints that man's name in the news except for Sapala. Sapala's wife was disappointed. Togo was also recovering. Now he reaches the city with his dogs. Many people come there to thank Sapala and his dogs. The kids also come here who were recovered because of Sapala. A girl arrives and asks, while seeing Togo, is it dying? After hearing this, Sapala moves out of his house, and his wife follows him. He says to his wife, Togo is in this condition because of me. It was 12 years old, and I shouldn't have taken him with me. His wife asks, is there anyone except for Togo who can do this? Sapala becomes silent as he knows no one could do this except for Togo. Sapala is going for practice the next morning with his dogs. Seeing this, Togo also wants to go with other dogs and doesn't want to stay at home. Sapala understands it doesn't want to pull sleds but wanted to spend time with Sapala. After some time, Togo recovers, and he used to go on a long journey with his wife and Togo. Togo has some kids after 2 years, and many families come to buy them. The breed of those puppies was given a new name, Sapala Siberian. Later, Togo died in 1929. But Sapala continued to train the dogs. Togo was a famous dog in his city. This was Togo's story. Togo has demonstrated in this story that dogs are the most devoted creatures on the planet. This movie ends here. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.